Welcome to another episode of Tinseltown Talks. Today we're celebrating the life and legacy of a true icon, Helen Reddy. From her rise to stardom to her untimely death, Helen's journey is one of inspiration, empowerment, and resilience. Let's dive into the story of the woman who roared. So let's dive in. Helen Maxine Reddy, born on October 25, 1941, in Melbourne, Australia, entered the world surrounded by a rich artistic heritage. Her mother, Stella Campbell, was a talented actress, singer, and dancer, while her father, Maxwell David Reddy, was a versatile writer, producer, and actor. Helen's lineage was a vibrant mix of Irish, Scottish, and English ancestry. Her great-great-grandfather, Edward Reddy, hailed from Dublin, Ireland, adding a touch of Irish charm to her family tree. Helen's family history is peppered with notable figures and interesting connections. On her Scottish side, her great-grandfather Thomas Lamond once held the prestigious position of Mayor of Waterloo in New South Wales. He was supported by none other than Hercules Robinson, the first Baron Rosmead. Additionally, Helen had distant family ties to Patsy Reddy, a former Governor-General of New Zealand, adding yet another layer of distinction to her lineage. Born during the tumultuous times of World War II, while her father was serving as a sergeant in the Australian Army in New Guinea, Helen's early years were marked by stories of resilience and service. By the tender age of 4, Helen had already stepped onto the stage, joining her parents on the Australian vaudeville circuit. She sang and danced alongside them, showing early signs of the star she would become. Despite the high expectations placed on her young shoulders, teenage Helen yearned for a different life. She dreamed not of stardom but of a simpler existence as a housewife and mother, a stark contrast to the showbiz path laid out for her. Helen's teenage years were a time of significant upheaval and change. When she turned 12, her parents' frequent tours and constant arguments led her to live with her paternal aunt, Helen Nell Reddy. This move provided young Helen with the stability and moral guidance she so desperately needed. However, her rebellious streak persisted. In a bid to assert her independence, she married Kenneth Claude Wheat, an older musician and family friend. Unfortunately, the marriage was short-lived, and Helen found herself a single mother to her daughter Tracy. To support herself and Tracy, Helen returned to the stage, but this time she focused on singing. Health issues had led to the removal of one of her kidneys at 17, making dancing an impossible pursuit. Her vocal talents shone brightly, and she quickly made a name for herself on radio and television. Her big break came when she won a talent contest on the Australian pop music TV show Bandstand. This victory was a turning point, propelling her into the spotlight and setting the stage for her future success. The prize was supposed to be a trip to New York City to cut a single for Mercury Records. However, upon arrival in 1966, Helen Reddy discovered that it was merely an audition, which Mercury deemed unsuccessful. Faced with this setback, she found herself in a difficult situation, having only $200 and a return ticket to Australia. Nonetheless, Reddy decided to stay in the United States with her 3-year-old daughter to pursue her dream of a singing career. Reddy's early U.S. performing career was fraught with challenges. One notable event was her 1966 appearance at the Three Rivers Inn in Syracuse, New York, where she performed for an audience of just 12 people. The lack of a work permit compounded her struggles, making it difficult to find singing jobs. To circumvent this issue, she often traveled to Canada, where work permits were not required for Commonwealth citizens. Despite these efforts, the lack of steady work led to financial difficulties. In 1968, when Reddy was down to her last $12, she found herself in a dire situation. Australian stage hypnotist Martin St. James, whom she had met in New York City, organized a party to help her. He charged a $5 admission fee to assist Reddy with her rent. It was at this party that Reddy met her future manager and husband, Jeff Wald, a 22-year-old secretary at the William Morris Agency. Wald had crashed the event, and Reddy recalled it being love at first sight. Just 3 days after their initial meeting, Wald and Reddy married. Along with her daughter Tracy, they moved into the Hotel Albert in Greenwich Village. Reddy later admitted that she married Wald out of desperation to secure her right to work and live in the United States. Their marriage marked the beginning of a new chapter, but it was not without challenges. Shortly after their marriage, Wald was fired from William Morris. This sudden loss of income left Reddy to support the family on her own. Determined to make ends meet, Reddy took on whatever singing gigs she could find, often performing at hospital and charity benefits for $35 a night. These early years were a struggle, but they also demonstrated Reddy's resilience and commitment to her career. Despite the numerous obstacles, she persevered, laying the groundwork for her future success in the music industry. It's been over 3 decades since Helen Reddy's iconic Grammy-winning anthem, Iron Woman, resonated deeply with audiences worldwide. Reflecting on its enduring impact, Reddy shared, "I think it came at the perfect time." This sentiment echoes her personal journey and the broader societal changes she championed through her music. Engaged in the burgeoning women's movement of her time, Reddy boldly challenged the prevailing narrative of feminine fragility. There were many songs on the radio about being weak and dainty, she recalled. But the women in my family were strong, drawing inspiration from her own experiences and the resilience of her family. Reddy crafted lyrics that celebrated women's strength and independence. Following her initial success with Iron Woman, Helen Reddy's musical career soared to new heights. Over the next 5 years, she amassed an impressive collection of chart-topping hits in the United States. Among them were Kenny Rankin's soulful, peaceful No, 12 Alex Harvey's poignant country ballad Delta Dawn No, 1, and Linda Laurie's catchy Leave Me Alone Ruby Red Dress No, 3. Her repertoire also included Danny Jansen and Bobby Hart's uplifting Keep on Singing No. 15. Paul Williams' heartfelt You and Me Against the World No. 9. Featuring her daughter Tracy, Alan O. Hayes' enigmatic Angie Baby No. 1. Veronique Sanson and Patty Dahlstrom's Emotive Emotion No. 22. And Harriet Schock's poignant Ain't No Way to Treat a Lady No. 8. Reddy's impact extended beyond the borders of the United States, achieving 2 #1 singles in Australia. While Angie Baby remains her sole top 40 hit in the United Kingdom, her influence on the global music scene is undeniable. In recognition of her contributions to the music industry, Helen Reddy was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on July 23, 1974. Located at 1750 Fine Street, this accolade stands as a testament to her enduring legacy and trailblazing spirit. As Helen Reddy's career began to gain momentum, the tension with her manager Jeff Wald became increasingly palpable. Wald, despite his notable successes managing acts like Deep Purple and Tiny Tim, struggled to make headway with Reddy's career. Frustration simmered beneath the surface as Reddy watched others around her flourish while her own progress seemed stunted. In a moment of clarity and resolve, Reddy confronted Wald with an ultimatum: either fully commit to advancing her career or step aside. This decisive moment underscored the stakes and highlighted Reddy's determination to carve out her own path in the music industry. Recognizing Reddy's undeniable talent and her fierce determination, Jeff Wald made a pivotal decision to dedicate himself entirely to her career. He launched a relentless campaign, leveraging his connections and persistence to secure her a recording deal. Wald's focus turned to Capitol Records executive Artie Mogul, whose influence could open the door to Reddy's breakthrough. Wald's persistence was unwavering. He bombarded Mogul with phone calls, each more insistent than the last. After 5 grueling months of relentless pursuit, Mogul finally agreed to give Reddy a chance, albeit with a condition: Wald was not to call him again for a month. This brief respite was a test of patience and persistence, and Wald, undeterred, saw it as merely a stepping stone. The opportunity to record arrived, and Reddy's first single was set. The chosen tracks were I Believe in Music, written by Mac Davis, with I Don't Know How to Love Him from Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jesus Christ Superstar as the B-side. The recording session was a blend of anticipation and nerves, with Reddy pouring her heart into the performance. While I Believe in Music did not chart significantly, it was I Don't Know How to Love Him that truly caught the industry's attention. The song showcased Reddy's impressive vocal range and emotional depth, capturing the essence of her potential as a leading lady in music. The modest success of I Don't Know How to Love Him marked a crucial turning point in Reddy's career. It was more than just a single, it was a statement. The song's success demonstrated her ability to connect with audiences on a deeper level, highlighting her vocal prowess and her capacity to convey complex emotions through song. This breakthrough was not just a victory for Reddy, but also for Wald, who had believed in her talent and tenacity. The song's recognition set the stage for Reddy's rise in the industry, proving that her voice and vision were not just promising but compelling. With I Don't Know How to Love Him gaining traction, Helen Reddy's career began to take off. The song's moderate success was a beacon, guiding her toward future hits that would define her legacy. It opened doors to more recording opportunities, allowing Reddy to experiment with different styles and genres. The momentum built steadily, leading to her chart-topping hits and cementing her status as a trailblazer in the music industry. Each subsequent song and album further showcased her versatility and strength, transforming her from a hopeful artist into an international superstar. The pivotal moment with Jeff Wald, the relentless pursuit of a recording deal, and the breakthrough with I Don't Know How to Love Him are all integral chapters in her story. These experiences not only shaped her career but also left an indelible mark on the music world. Helen Reddy's journey to fame was marked by unwavering persistence and resilience. Finally, all of Reddy's persistence and resilience began to pay off. With her breakthrough at Capitol Records, she embarked on a relentless pursuit of success. Performing tirelessly at various venues and continuously expanding her repertoire, Reddy demonstrated a fierce determination to carve out her place in the highly competitive music industry. Her willingness to seize every opportunity that came her way underscored her commitment to achieving her dreams. During this period of struggle, Reddy's experiences in Chicago and Los Angeles, under the dedicated management of Jeff Wald, laid the groundwork for her eventual rise to fame. These formative years tested her resolve and prepared her for the breakthrough that awaited her in the early 1970s. Reddy's journey from challenging beginnings to becoming a celebrated music icon stands as a testament to her unyielding determination and undeniable talent. In the early 1970s, Helen Reddy found herself amidst the crowded music scene, striving to make her mark. Her initial aside tracks struggled to gain traction, until Canadian DJs sparked a stroke of genius flipping the record. Suddenly I Don't Know How to Love Him, originally a B-side, captured the hearts of listeners and climbed to number 13 on the charts in June 1971. This unexpected turn of events marked the beginning of Helen Reddy's meteoric rise to stardom. By December 1972, Helen Reddy had firmly established herself as a music sensation. Her single Iron Woman, co-written with Ray Burton, soared to the top of the Billboard Hot 100, reaching number 1. More than just a chart topper, Iron Woman became a powerful anthem for the women's movement, inspired by Australian rock critic and feminist Lillian Roxon. Reddy's personal connection to the movement resonated deeply in her music, amplifying its impact and solidifying her role as a voice for empowerment. Helen Reddy's rapid ascent to fame and her contribution to the women's movement reshaped the music industry. Her bold lyrics and impassioned performances not only resonated with audiences but also sparked conversations about gender equality and empowerment. Beyond Iron Woman, Reddy's subsequent hits further showcased her versatility and enduring appeal, cementing her legacy as a trailblazer in music. In Fred Bronson's The Billboard Book of Number 1 Hits, Helen Reddy shared her quest for songs that reflected the positive self-image cultivated by the burgeoning women's movement of the early 1970s. Disappointed by the dearth of anthems celebrating female strength and resilience, she decided to take matters into her own hands. The result was Iron Woman, a powerful declaration of independence and empowerment. Originally featured on her album I Don't Know How to Love Him in May 1971, the song marked a pivotal moment in Reddy's career and in the cultural landscape. Initially released as an album track, Iron Woman garnered attention for its bold lyrics and stirring melody. However, its journey to becoming a chart-topping single was not immediate. When released as a single in May 1972, the song faced initial challenges in gaining widespread recognition. Despite this, its message resonated deeply with listeners, particularly women who identified with its themes of strength and resilience in the face of societal expectations. Driven by grassroots support and the momentum of the women's liberation movement, Iron Woman began to gain traction on radio stations across the country. Listeners started requesting the song in increasing numbers, propelling it back onto the charts. By September 1972, Iron Woman had achieved the remarkable feat of reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Its ascent not only solidified Helen Reddy's status as a musical force, but also positioned her as a symbol of empowerment and defiance against gender norms. The success of Iron Woman was further cemented by Helen Reddy's Grammy win for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. This accolade made her the first Australian artist to achieve such recognition, underscoring the song's impact beyond its musical appeal. Reddy's acceptance speech echoed her commitment to women's empowerment, reinforcing the song's role as a rallying cry for equality and strength. In later years, Helen Reddy reflected on the enduring impact of Iron Woman and its timely relevance. "I think it came at the perfect time," she remarked, recalling her immersion in the women's movement and the societal changes unfolding around her. The song's resonance stemmed not only from its catchy tune but also from its authentic portrayal of female strength, inspired by the resilient women in Reddy's own life. Following her initial breakthrough, Helen Reddy quickly ascended to become a prominent figure in the music industry. Over the span of 5 years, she achieved an impressive string of hits on the U.S. charts, including more than a dozen top 40 singles and 2 number 1 hits. Her diverse repertoire showcased her versatility and resonated with audiences across the nation. Among her notable hits were Kenny Rankin's Peaceful at number 12, Alex Harvey's country ballad Delta Dawn reaching number 1, and Linda Lori's Leave Me Alone ruby red dress. Peaking at number 3. Other successful singles included Danny Jansen and Bobby Hart's Keep on Singing at number 15, Paul Williams' You and Me Against the World featuring Daughter Tracy, which reached number 9, Alan Oa's Angie Baby at number 1, Veronique Sanson and Patty Dahlstrom's Emotion at number 22, and Harriet Schock's Ain't No Way to Treat a Lady at number 8. Also notable was Richard Kerr and Will Jennings' Somewhere in the Night, which peaked at number 19. In Australia, she achieved 2 additional number 1 singles, while Angie Baby remained her sole top 40 hit in the UK. Helen Reddy's contributions to the music industry were recognized with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on July 23, 1974. Located at 1750 Vine Street, this honor underscored her impact and influence as an artist and advocate for women in music. In 1975, Helen Reddy embarked on a triumphant tour of East Asia, Australia, and New Zealand, where she garnered an impressive collection of 16 gold records. Her tour achievements included 6 gold records in Australia and 6 in New Zealand, highlighting her global appeal and enduring popularity. During the mid-1970s, at the height of her fame, Helen Reddy headlined prestigious shows on the Las Vegas Strip. Her performances drew enthusiastic standing-room-only crowds, featuring elaborate productions with a full chorus of backup singers and dancers. Opening acts for her shows included renowned figures such as Joan Rivers, David Letterman, Bill Cosby, and Barry Manilow, underscoring her stature and influence in entertainment circles. In 1976, Helen Reddy ventured into new musical territory by recording a heartfelt rendition of the Beatles' classic The Fool on the Hill for the musical documentary All This in World War II. This project showcased her versatility as an artist, interpreting iconic songs with her unique style and voice. Beyond her own musical endeavors, Reddy played a pivotal role in shaping the career of her close friend Olivia Newton-John. Recognizing Newton-John's talent, Reddy encouraged her to make the move from England to the United States in the early 1970s. This relocation provided Newton-John with access to professional opportunities that were limited in the UK at the time. At a memorable dinner party hosted by Reddy, Newton-John crossed paths with producer Alan Carr, who would go on to offer her the lead role in the blockbuster film adaptation of the musical Grease, propelling Newton-John to international stardom. During her peak years in the mid-1970s, Helen Reddy enjoyed remarkable success on the easy listening chart, achieving 8 number 1 hits within a span of just 3 years. Her chart toppers included memorable tracks like Delta Dawn in 1973 and I Can't Hear You No More in 1976, which solidified her status as a leading figure in the genre. However, her later single releases faced challenges on the broader Billboard Hot 100 chart, with I Can't Hear You No More reaching only number 29, signaling a shift in her mainstream popularity. In 1977, Reddy showed signs of a potential comeback with her rendition of Cilla Black's emotive ballad You're My World, which peaked at number 18 on the Billboard Hot 100. Co-produced by Kim Fowley, this track marked a poignant moment in Reddy's discography, capturing her ability to resonate with audiences through heartfelt interpretations of classic songs. Despite this, her accompanying album Ear Candy, released in the same period, did not achieve gold status, ending her streak since her second album in 1972. The following year, 1978, saw Helen Reddy expanding her musical horizons by contributing as a backup singer on Gene Simmons' solo album, adding her distinctive voice to the track True Confessions. Additionally, she released her solo live album, Live in London, recorded at the prestigious London Palladium, showcasing her commanding stage presence and enduring appeal to live audiences. Despite her continued efforts with subsequent single releases on Capitol Records, only a handful managed to break into the easy listening top 50. One notable exception was Candle on the Water, featured in the beloved 1977 Disney film Pete's Dragon, where Reddy also played a role. While the song resonated with audiences and showcased her vocal prowess, her singles struggled to replicate the commercial success she had earlier enjoyed on a broader scale. As Helen Reddy's career entered a challenging phase, she confronted difficulties with her longtime label, Capitol Records, feeling marginalized and unsupported. The turning point came in May 1981 when Reddy made a significant move by releasing Play Me Out, her debut album under MCA Records. This decision, which she described as a deal she and her then-husband Jeff Wald couldn't refuse, marked a new chapter in her musical journey. Despite her hopes for a fresh start, Reddy's transition to MCA Records yielded only modest success. Her remake of Becky Hobbs' poignant ballad I Can't Say Goodbye to You emerged as her final chart entry, peaking at number 88 on the Billboard Hot 100. This signaled a downturn in her mainstream visibility and commercial appeal. MCA Records released one more album, Imagination, in 1983, marking the conclusion of Reddy's career as a recording artist. The following years were tumultuous, compounded by her divorce from Jeff Wald, which further complicated her professional trajectory. Reddy openly alleged that Wald's interference in her career had contributed to a decline in her profile and even led to her being blacklisted from certain performance venues. In response to these challenges, Reddy redirected her focus towards theater, where Wald's influence held less sway. In 1990, seeking creative autonomy, Reddy independently released Feel So Young, a nostalgic collection featuring remakes of her beloved classics. During this period, she also ventured into new musical territories, notably collaborating in 1987 on the dance maxi single Mysterious Kind, where she provided vocal support to Jessica Williams. 7 years later, in 1997, she partnered with Varese Sarabandi to release Center Stage, an album showcasing her interpretations of timeless show tunes. One standout from Center Stage was a remixed version of Surrender, originally from the musical Sunset Boulevard, released as a dance maxi single. Reddy's final studio album, The Best Christmas Ever, offered a seasonal treat upon its release in 2000, reflecting her enduring connection with her audience through holiday-themed music. In April 2015, Reddy contributed a cover of the Beatles' classic All You Need Is Love to the album Keep Calm and Salute the Beatles, released by the Purple Pyramid label. This contribution underscored her lasting impact and continued relevance in the music industry, even as she moved into different creative avenues. In 2002, Helen Reddy made a significant announcement that marked a turning point in her career. She retired from performing after her final show with the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. This decision prompted her to leave her longtime residence in Santa Monica, California, and return to her native Australia to be closer to family. Initially settling on Norfolk Island, she later moved to Sydney, where she embarked on a new chapter of personal and professional growth. During her time in Australia, Reddy pursued further education and earned a degree in clinical hypnotherapy and neuro-linguistic programming. She transitioned into a successful career as a practicing clinical hypnotherapist, actively supporting the Australian Society of Clinical Hypnotherapists and helping numerous clients through her therapeutic practice. In recognition of her enduring contributions to music, Helen Reddy was honored with induction into the Australian Recording Industry Association ARIA Hall of Fame in August 2006. The induction ceremony was a poignant moment, highlighted by actress-singer Toni Collette's tribute to Reddy's iconic anthem I Am Woman, describing it as timeless. The event also featured a stirring performance of the song by fellow Australian artist Vanessa Amorosi, underscoring Reddy's lasting impact on music and culture. By April 2008, reports surfaced revealing that Reddy was living modestly, relying on royalties, pension funds, and Social Security. She resided in a 13th-floor apartment overlooking Sydney Harbour, which became a subject of public concern regarding affordability. However, upon learning of Reddy's identity and global influence on women's rights and empowerment, the landlord decided against selling or increasing the rent, ensuring her continued residence there. Despite occasional speculation about a potential return to the stage, Helen Reddy remained steadfast in her retirement. She expressed a waning interest in performing and emphasized her contentment with a diverse range of personal interests and activities. Her focus on hypnotherapy and her ongoing support for various causes reflected her commitment to making a positive impact beyond the realm of music. In 2011, Helen Reddy made a triumphant return to the stage, spurred by the warm reception she received at her sister's 80th birthday celebration. Rediscovering her voice after a decade-long hiatus, she was pleasantly surprised by its resonance and considered a comeback to performing. One of the driving forces behind her decision was the newfound freedom to choose her repertoire, no longer constrained by record company preferences. She embraced the opportunity to sing songs that held personal significance, deliberately omitting others such as Leave Me Alone, Ruby Red Dress, which she felt had a repetitive chorus that didn't align with her current artistic vision. This return to the spotlight reached a poignant apex at the 2017 Women's March in Los Angeles, where Reddy delivered a stirring a cappella rendition of her iconic anthem I Am Woman. Her performance resonated deeply, reaffirming her enduring commitment to women's rights and solidarity in challenging times. Beyond her musical achievements, Helen Reddy was a familiar presence on television screens throughout the 1970s and early 1980s. She made memorable appearances on popular talk shows and variety programs such as The Bobby Darin Show, The Carol Burnett Show, and The Muppet Show. Her own series, The Helen Reddy Show, provided a platform for emerging talents including Albert Brooks and the Pointer Sisters, showcasing her knack for nurturing new artists. Additionally, she served as a semi-regular host on the Midnight Special, a beloved music show that featured diverse musical acts. Reddy's film career also left a lasting mark, with notable roles in Disney's Pete's Dragon and the disaster film Airport 1975, which earned her a Golden Globe nomination for Most Promising Newcomer. Her versatility as an entertainer extended beyond music, showcasing her ability to captivate audiences across different mediums. In spite of the fact that she saw a decline in her popularity on the music charts in the late 1970s, Helen Reddy continued to be a famous and multifaceted personality in the entertainment industry. She broadened her career by entering the realm of television, where she hosted specials such as the Helen Reddy Special and investigated the possibility of appearing in sitcoms. The middle of the 1980s marked the beginning of Reddy's move into the world of theater, during which she displayed her abilities in critically praised musicals such as Anything Goes, Shirley Ballantine, Call Me Madam, and Blood Brothers. Her flexibility and persistent presence continued to be obvious with sporadic television appearances, including noteworthy cameos such as her performance in Blue Harvest, a Star Wars spoof that was produced by Family Guy. On a more personal level, Helen Reddy's early marriage to Kenneth Claude Wheat at the age of 20 was partially driven by a desire to take a stand against the intentions of her parents, who wanted her to follow in their footsteps and become a member of the entertainment industry. On the other hand, the marriage did not last long and was terminated not long after the birth of their daughters, Tracy and Tracy. Prior to her marriage to Jeff Wald, who was born and raised in the Bronx, she went through the process of converting to Judaism. Their wedding took place in 1968. The marriage of Reddy and Wald was not without its difficulties, despite the fact that they were both successful. Even though she gave Wald a substantial amount of credit for her professional accomplishments, their relationship was fraught with difficulties, which were made worse by Wald's struggles with cocaine addiction. In January 1981, the couple found themselves in a tough situation that ultimately resulted in their separation. During this time, Reddy first filed for divorce, but he then withdrew the petition the following day, claiming the short duration of their separation. After learning that Wald was still struggling with substance misuse, Reddy submitted another petition for divorce in 1982. In January of 1983, the divorce was formalized, and the couple reached an agreement to split custody of their son Jordan, who would subsequently change his surname to Summers. After her divorce from Wald, Reddy wedded Milton Ruth in June 1983. Milton Ruth was a drummer in her band and produced her album Feeling So Young. Reddy's second marriage came after her divorce from Wald. Despite this, they divorced in 1995, bringing an end to their marriage. Helen Reddy was reportedly diagnosed with dementia in August of 2015, according to the official announcement. It was at the Samuel Goldwyn Center, which is operated by the Motion Picture and Television Fund, that she moved in order to obtain medical attention from her loved ones. Helen Reddy, who was a beloved member of the entertainment industry, passed away on September 29, 2020, at the Motion Picture and Television Country House and Hospital in Los Angeles. She fought Addison's illness and dementia throughout her later years, but the specific reason for her death was never divulged. Her latter years were defined by her struggles. A little more than a year later, on November 13, 2021, Reddy's second husband and former manager, Jeff Wald, passed away at the age of 77. Her passing occurred on November 13th. The news of Helen's death was met with an outpouring of love and respect from fans and fellow musicians alike. Her legacy lives on through her music, her activism, and the countless lives she touched with her powerful voice and message. Helen Reddy's story is one of courage, determination, and unwavering belief in oneself. Her music continues to inspire new generations to stand up, speak out, and roar. Thank you, Helen, for everything. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into the lives of your favorite music legends. This is Music Legends Uncovered. See you next time.